Hey everybody, welcome back to the Joe Wentz Project TV. My name is Joe. If you're new here, this is all about guitars. Once in a while we might do a video about camping because I love camping as well, but that's for another time, another day. Today I'm going to go over my setup. I've had a bunch of questions from some wonderful people and new subscribers as well about what I'm using when I go live on my live streams, Saturday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I've had people ask me, are you using an amp? Or are you using a attenuator? Are you miking something up? What are you doing? And so in today's video, I'm going to go over what I use, and hopefully it'll help people, you know, because people were kind enough to help me along the way when I was dealing with this stuff, trying to get a better sound. So I have no problem with passing along this information, and hopefully people will be like, oh, I want to try that, you know. So here we go. Let's get started. First and foremost, this is the pedal boards right here. So it's not as a big deal as it might seem. It's really not. But we're going to concentrate right now. We're going to concentrate on this bottom section. This board, and this pedal, and this effects processor right here. That is the Moore Prime M2. All right, the first pedal, the guitar goes into here, the cable. Then we go into this EVH flanger. And then from out of this, we go to this right here, which is my Donner tuner, all right? Now this is how the signal path is going to go. Wah pedal, flanger, tuner, and this is a little mini Univibe here, Jimi Hendrix. We got the EVH Phase 90. We have a Dan Electro Pastrami Overdrive, MXR Classic Overdrive. This is the pedal I talk about. If you take it and flip it over and take the back plate off, there's a little micro switch that you flip up, and it makes that pedal have even more overdrive. It's really cool. A Boss GE7. And from out of this, all right, out of this, I go in to the Moore. I'll go into the Moore. So these pedals here, and these bottom pedals here are in front of the effects processor. It don't matter if you're using this or the Tank G or whatever. This will go to the input of the effects processor. Coming out is when what I'm doing is I'm making a homemade effects loop, kinda. So I'm coming out. I go into my digital delay, DD5. These pedals I have, this is also a DL8 delay, hardwire, and CR7 stereo chorus hardwire. These are fantastic pedals. I was using these to help get that wide spread, and then I got these pedals, and it was a game changer. So these are on the board, but I don't use them hardly at all. So here's the TC Electronic Mimic. There's the settings for that, and of course the double tracker by Mr. Black. And that is a big deal, these two pedals here. And so I go out, you see that left and right out, those cables. I go out of there into the Rodecaster Pro 2. This is what I use when I go live. All right, let me set this down here. So when I go live, those two, you notice I like to have colored cables, so I know exactly where they're coming from, so I don't get mixed up with just black cables. That's why I like these colored, I think they're Ernie ball cables. Yeah, Ernie ball cables. So you just take there's a power button back here. You hold that, sorry for the camera. Hold that down, let it go. And it should power up here. And from this unit, I go Type C to USB into my laptop, which I have these this adapter here, and it goes into my laptop. Now, as this is loading up, I'm going to explain to you a little bit the best I can. I can't go into a really in-depth how-to on this because there's a lot to it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about to get this unit to work. But it's really just a mixer, but it's made for podcasting. And these are your sound pads, and I have songs loaded on these sound pads. So if I touch this, you can kind of see where the names of the songs, if my camera were focused, and it's not wanting to. Anyway, we got some Van Halen there, some other songs that are loaded, and when I want to play a song, I just hit this pad, represents that song right there. The second pad represents that song, and so on and so on. And if you want to edit the track, you just tap that. It comes up, it says edit, tap edit, and it brings up that track. So if you want to adjust the volume for that particular track or, song, you can raise it, lower it, and if you want to keep your settings, you hit the green check mark. If you want to keep it like it is, you just hit X, and it goes back out. This slider is for my microphone. This is a disabled track here, so we don't use this. This is for the sound of the audio that's coming off the internet into my headphones. Let's see. And no, this is for the talkback. Yeah, and plus I mute this track, but that is the internet audio right there. And this here is, that is for, oh, that's for your that's for your volume for your sound pads. Sorry, I forgot all about that. Yep, I haven't messed with it. I got the settings like I want them and I forget. But yeah, this is your master volume for your sound pads. That's what that is. And this track is disabled. This track is disabled. And this is the master volume for the guitar. The two that are coming in stereo, I control this because I made this a stereo channel. You can see it says 1 and 2 on track 1, so that means I got 2 tracks combined into one, so it makes it stereo. And this is just a headphone volume. These are all headphones. You can have up to 4 headphones, and I also have a couple of outs here that go to my monitors on my computer desk. So you can see every time I'm talking, this mic is picking me up, and it's a Shure mic right there. Really good mic. So I'll turn this down. So this is the main Rode makes excellent. This Rodecaster Pro 2 is incredible. I mean, this was a game changer. Huge game changer. Here is the Locato wireless that I use all the time. And if you want a great wireless, I suggest using this right here. It's about 50 bucks on Temu. This other pedal board is for when I'm playing in the room for my Katanas, 50 watts. I got 2 of them. So it's just a basic pedal board here. I get the main tones from this Zoom G1 Xfour. So I'm not using any effects from the amps themselves. I'm just using this for my effects. And I keep the Katanas, I keep those clean, no effects. I use that EVH Wolfgang in this. I just got it out of the way. It would go here, and then another flanger, another phaser, another Dan Electro, another Hendrix Mini Rotovibe, or Univibe, excuse me, Boss Super Overdrive, EP Booster, Super Feedbacker Distortion. We got a Donner DT Deluxe Chromatic Tuner. And that's, you see, these are in front of the Zoom G1 Xfour, so just pretend that's your amp. So you want all these types of effects in front. And then time-based effects or whatever are going to be after. So that's where I put the Eventide micro pitch. And that allows me to make a full wet setup because you have dual outputs. And so that way, if I want, I can hook up this half stack along with this other half stack and run this in a full wet setup using this pedal board here. And all you gotta do is just unplug a couple of cables and plug the cables in. You can see it's coming from, I got cables on standby, I guess you could say, and I got another cable coming from the other one, so I can just go click, click, and then I have a full wet setup. And that's what I love about these boards. Now, I'm going to get into the Rockman boards. So, if I wanted to go, this is what I call the modern board, the modern when I'm playing live. And if I want to go to the Rockman, there's the Rockman X100 MXR. Fantastic pedal. If you don't have that and you love the Boston sound, get this pedal. Get this pedal. I got it when it came out in, I think, January of this year. So the first thing I have, I have these. I would unplug this cable and get the cable from the tuner and go right here, so I could still use the wah and the flanger for this setup here. So this would be the Rockman setup when I want to go full 80s. So it would be this, the Crybaby, the flanger. Then I go into that chromatic tuner there, Boss chromatic tuner, which is amazing. MXR phase 90. And you got the EVH 5150 overdrive. And then I got a boost. And then I got the EQ. And then out of that, EQ comes into the input of the Rockman, because again, pretend like this is your amp, right? Now this pedal is not hooked up, I just set it there, so don't pay it no attention. Coming out, you notice I have a what do you call that, a split cable there, so I can go left and right into this Electro Harmonics Cathedral Reverb. Amazing pedal here. Then it goes to another DD5, which I have one right here as well. I have a lot of the similar pedals. And then you move over to these Donner white tape right there. Stereo delay. And then I go into another hardwire CR7 stereo chorus like I had here. And then out of that, I go into this, I have an Eventide pitch factor. I sometimes use that, sometimes I don't. It's pretty cool to kind of throw it in there if you don't want to make it too much. It muddies things up if you're not careful. And then the big Mac Daddy, the Boss STE 3000 dual delay. That is amazing. They have the same version, but the EVH version, it just has the stripes on it, but it's basically the same thing. But they do have some EVH patches on those models that obviously I heard you can't tap into them. They're just presets, and it's like a secret. And then again, the Mimic. All right, so if I wanted to go from this setup and move to this setup, I got everything fixed where all I have to do is unplug these two cables and plug into the Mimic. That's it. And of course, you power it. I got a power strip. You just hit a button and all this comes on. So that's the whole setup. I gotta stand up. Man, my knees are killing me. So I just unplug those two. Make sure it's, keep it on the left and right like you're supposed to, and move it up, and then it'll run over here to the Rodecaster Pro 2, and now you have the Boston setup, which sounds amazing. So that's what I have currently. I use, like I said, this here and the more Prime M2 and these pedals. That is what I call the modern when I'm playing. And I'm telling you, this little Moore unit here, that thing is the bomb. Shout out to Rico. That thing's the bomb. But so yeah, it's I accumulated all this stuff over time, man. It didn't happen overnight. So please don't ever think that. Now let's say I want to jam in the room here, going through these two Katana amps and not go through the Rodecaster Pro 2, and I just want to feel the music, so to speak. I'll show you that. So the first couple of amps I have sitting over here, this is the left corner of the room. Of course, it's this Fender Mustang 25, and you can see a different color cable, because that's going to come from the Eventide micro pitch, and then also another cable coming into this Boss Katana 50 watt. So that pedal board I just showed you is going to feed these two amps, and also this one over here. That's the other Boss 50 watt Katana right there. So with that setup, I actually have 3 amps going at once, but I'm only using the effects coming from the Zoom G1 Xfour, feeding these 3 amps at one time. So it's just like a multi-stereo setup. It sounds incredible in the room. I mean, it really does. It's just something that's fun. I can turn this stuff on. It can get pretty dang loud if you want it to. It's loud enough. I don't need it that loud, but it's a great setup, and it's just if you love to play guitar and you love to play music, this stuff here, you could tinker with it all day long until you finally get it dialed into what you like. The Boss Katana 50 watts, to me, are very impressive. I think I gave a touch over $300 a piece for them from Sweetwater. And the Fender Mustang 25, I want to say that was around $160, somewhere in that ballpark, give or take. It's a great amp for what it is. I found a couple of tones that I tweaked that were amazing, actually. And just like any other piece of gear that's got, you know, solid state, it's got built-in effects, there's quite a few that's just kind of, you know, it's like I went back to 2005 or something. I mean, it's just how I feel sometimes. But for the most part, they're really fun. And that's what these things are here for, to help you be creative, to inspire you. And that's definitely what it does for me. When I'm playing music, it just takes me to another level. I don't care if I played the song 100 times. I'm going to play it again, because every time you play and every time you work at it, you get a little bit better and a little bit better. And it can be a slow process. A little bit of progress is better than none at all. This pedal board is just what I like and how I've set my stuff up over the years. You know, you got to understand, I'm 55 years old, so my heyday of music was in the classic rock era in the 80s, and then when the mid 80s hit, it was, you know, everything. It was so cool, man. Everything was so awesome. You know, you had everybody had the cool hair. Of course, I never was blessed with cool hair. You know, I always had natural curly hair, so I always keep it short so I can try to halfway do something with it. And it's always been a struggle. But anyway, the 80s music scene was really cool. It was awesome for guitars. And of course, that right there speaks for itself. By the way, that's my new PRS Custom SC24. And somebody said that, and I remember hearing this on Philip McKnight's channel one time, that on the 24th fret, instead of the bird inlay, it's supposed to be an owl. And they said, did I check that out? No, I forgot. So let's look. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it looks like it to me. That's pretty cool. I knew my camera was going to do that. Yeah, it's supposed to be like in a silhouette of an owl or something like that, which is pretty wild. But yeah, these are the guitars I have hanging up currently. That's the newest edition. Candy is the name. It reminds me of cotton candy. And somebody in the chat came up with the name, which I can't remember. So you know who you are. Thank you very much. And of course, this is my holy grail, the EVH Frankenstrat or Frankenstein. I've heard both. The PRS McCarty 594, amazing guitar. I got a great deal on it on Reverb. And of course, the Buddy Guy Strat. Big shout out to Midtown Music for helping me buy this. Absolutely amazing guitar. Plays great. It's got the upgraded hot gold lace sensor hot gold pickups, yeah, and the Graphtec saddles. Shout out to DeVere on that. And I was finally able to get a Silver Sky. I know people that are subbed already know this, but we got some new people. So we got the John Mayer Silver Sky. It still has the plastic on it. You can see it bubbling up a little bit. And it's a fantastic guitar. Plays really good. I'm shocked about the neck, how good it feels. It's nice and slim. It's great. There's the Guitar Max guitar right there that I talked about. I always enjoy Guitar Max. He's got a great channel. It's the Harley Benton. That's great, man. Signature model. That's a great guitar. It was just, I think it was like $500 on the money or $499. It was like, it's what it came up to for me. We got a Fender Project guitar there. I've showed these before in my guitar collection videos. The Schecter Sun Valley Shredder with the Sustainiac pickup built in. Amazing. The SBS model. Steve Brown sound with upgraded Godot 1996T and upgraded post. And the purple upgraded locking screws. And of course, the EVH Stripe series. And then this old OLP right there. Yeah, awesome. Fun stuff, man. Munster bolts. That's who I was trying to think of. If you want some great locking screws, go on Amazon and type in Munster bolts. And that's where you find these. They're excellent. Excellent. And I got some pedals over here that I don't even use anymore. Look at all those pedals. I can make a whole nother pedal board, which I got a little one right here. There's a pedal board, ain't got nothing on it. And there's that's a Zach Wild Wah, which is fine. It works great. And then my Vox Wah, it just quit. It don't work right anymore. I don't know. It just started acting weird. And I have a fuzz face distortion. Let's see. I got a Hendrix Wah right here. Oh yeah, that's when I got the fuzz pedal that's sitting over there. I'll show it to you. But there's a Hendrix Crybaby Wah that's still, I bought it off Reverb years ago. I used it twice, and then I put it back into plastic and boxed it up, and that's it. I just want to make sure it worked. It's like brand new. And I'll show you the Hendrix fuzz. So here's the Hendrix fuzz face right here. Shout out to Mr. Bruce, Brother Bruce. This is amazing. Yeah, I put Sharpie marks on my pedal so I know exactly where I want things to go. And if you want that fuzz, man, that Hendrix type fuzz, get this pedal here. The only thing is it doesn't have a power jack, so it's a 9-volt only. But if you want to experience, no pun intended, experience that Hendrix realm with a Strat, there you go right there. And some people ask about the warehouse back here. It's just a spare room. I call it the warehouse. And you see what I mean? I mean, I got shipping boxes still up in here that I need to get rid of. It would be good for just shipping a guitar in a gig bag or something. And I have some more boxes here. And then I have brand new shipping boxes that are, you know, they're collapsed down. I got those from U-Haul. But in my guitar collection video, I had to go through all these guitars and go through everything. There's a PRS SC gig bag I got with candy. And it's just a room full of guitars and cases. We got some over in here and some more in gig bags. And it just goes on and on back there in the back. There's like 3 rows. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 rows. And they go back a pretty good ways. And then you got a rack of guitars that are facing this way. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So moving all the stuff around for that guitar collection video was, it was some work, man. It was some work, but that's my warehouse right there. When I talk about the warehouse on my live stream, that's it. So that's going to do it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you, now you have a better perspective of what I do when I'm going live on my show, when I'm playing music. It is something that has taken me a long time to get to that point. And again, without help from other people, I never would have known. So I don't mind sharing this knowledge either. You know, maybe it'll help somebody. Also, one thing I wanted to say, if you decide to stream live, if you want to do that on your channel, it's always best to go with an Ethernet cable from your modem. And I have two. I got the T-Mobile, of course, right here, and also have an extra router so it can split the load, so this doesn't have to do all the work. So but I have an Ethernet cable coming out of here straight to my laptop, so I'm hardwired in, and that's the best thing to do if you're going live, and especially playing music live. If you're not hardwired into your computer or laptop and you're running off Wi-Fi, you're going to deal with a lot more glitchy issues as if you weren't, you know. So, or if you were, I should say. If you're hardwired in, there's a lot less issues. If you're using Wi-Fi, you can expect to have more glitchy stuff going on. It can happen either way, but it's going to be a lot less issues if you're hardwired in. I hope that makes sense. I know I probably stumbled like crazy on that. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. This is just I wanted to just show what I use when I'm going live, and you know, like I said, hopefully it'll help people out and it'll answer some questions that I've been getting. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope it didn't confuse you too much. I hope I didn't mess it up too bad. But thank you so much, and thank you to the new subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and if you could, please give this video a thumbs up. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it so very much. It really, really helps. And for the people who are checking out the live drives and the other videos, thank you so very much. It means the world. I'm telling you, it means the world. I can't express how much I appreciate it. And to the, I don't never push this, but on the live stream this past Saturday, we got like some new members for the channel. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. God bless. Keep rocking. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.